So thank you so much for being here today with me. So in this video, I will be getting ready to go to my first wedding expo. Yay! I should have done that a long time ago, but I feel like it was just finally the right time to do that. But in this video, I am also going to be talking about a couple of things that are on my mind, such as faith, religion, self-trust, and honestly, how excited I am for things to come. I grew up as Christian in a Mexican home, so I always found that to be incredibly toxic. Like my grandma and all of my aunts and uncles were very extremist Christian. I honestly just kept seeing a lot of hypocrisy throughout my childhood. I kept seeing people preach about God and then just do these horrible things. And so I never identified with Christianism ever since I was very little. You know, I lived with a couple of other friends that were also Christian, but they were really great people. So that on itself started making me feel like, okay, well, obviously not all Christians are horrible, but there was definitely a bit of a trend that I saw going on. With that said, I always grew up a bit angry because I just felt like religious people, they were religious in order to take less accountability for their actions, because that is honestly what I just kept seeing over and over again. So with that said, I never went to a church, and I mean, it's been like 12 years and I never really prayed, you know? So my life went on like that for 12 to 14 years where I was just not religious at all. And not until very recently that I actually started questioning that. So me and my husband, we went to a barber shop, a small owner, like a business, like an independent business barber shop. And there was the owner, Billy B, I think. And I started asking him questions and we started talking, and I noticed how confident he was. And it seems like he had lived a very hard life. And I was just so impressed by how confident he seemed and how sure he seemed. So we actually got into the subject of religion, and then, I asked him hard questions. I asked him, well, what do you think about, people taking less accountability because maybe they think that they're already saved, blah, blah, blah. And, he provided me with all of those answers, and I may have not agreed with parts of it, but that's okay. But after I left, I realized that one of the reasons why he seemed so comfortable and so sure about himself is because he was just trusting on a higher power. So anything that happened to him was given to him as a test, and based on what he told me, he always knew that he could get past whatever issues came up because he believes that God, as a higher power, has been preparing him. I noticed that and I was like, wow, I can 100% see how trusting in a higher power can make your life easier instead of holding all of these expectations and responsibilities about the future on your own. So that got me thinking, and it was a very weird spot to be in because I was finding logic in this as a third person that was not a religious person, I guess. So that got me thinking, and then I spoke to my therapist about it, and then I pretty much let her know how I would love to be that confident, about the future. My algorithm, I guess, finally caught on, and I saw a short where it said that you can pray and ask to communicate and say, hey, if I see this number, please use this number to let me know that you're like watching over me and that everything's gonna be fine. So you're letting your watchers, your angels, know what you want to see and what you want it to mean, right? So I started praying right after I would wake up and right after I would go to sleep, because I highly do believe in being grateful for what you have, and I also highly believe in setting intentions for your day and just reminding yourself that. And so I've I've been praying for a little bit now, and something kind of exciting happened, which I actually kind of think was a sign. So I wanted to sign up for this wedding show, and when I reached out to them, it was pretty late on the game, honestly, and they let me know that all of their photographer spots had already been filled. So that was honestly a bummer, but I completely understood that I should have planned for this show last year. So I was super sad about it, and I was like, it's okay, next time. And then about a week after that, I received a message from one of the coordinators, and they were like, hey, we actually have a couple of spots open. Would you like to sign up? And I was like, yeah. So they sent me the booths available. And I was like, okay, I would like to choose this booth. And they were like, well, actually, I'm sorry, that booth wouldn't work because you would be too close to another photographer. But they were like, well, if you would like, you can choose from these larger booths, and we will provide you with a like price adjustment because you're being flexible. And then as one of the booths, I actually saw the number that I had asked to be shown as a sign. So I saw that number, and it was a really good spot. So not only was I then given the opportunity to attend to this show, so I could set myself up with bookings for this year and the next year, but I was also given a booth with my lucky or blessed number, and it was in an amazing spot, and everything has been going super well. I've just been praying more lately, you guys, and I'm not angry at it at all, just because once again I understand the importance of being grateful and setting intentions, and I feel like that is part of that. Whoever you're praying to, as long as it is for your good and for a greater good, as long as you're acting with good intentions, I feel like that is the best religion that you can participate on. My faith has definitely increased, and I feel so excited for the future. Or holding myself responsible for the future was just so incredibly stressful, because there is no way I was going to be able to guess what was going to happen. So you honestly just have to have faith and trust that things are going to work out for you, and just take a risk. Alright, you guys, so this is my final look. Super simple, but once again, I am not the star of the show for this one. But let me know if what I talked about resonated with you. Let me know what you think. But yeah, so I will see you guys later. Bye.